Space Cat's Tactics, a turn-based strategy game where a playful concept masks a serious challenge. Join me for a more in-depth look at what this adventure holds. The premise of the game is simple-ish. Cats are no longer subservient to man, and instead are bioengineered super soldiers. As any cat owner could have predicted, these warriors then turn on their previous masters to obtain their own independence. We control Mitzi, a suave cat down on his luck who has to resort to a life of piracy and smuggling to get by, according to the narration. According to the gameplay, however, he is more at home with indiscriminate murder. Accompanying us, we have Bisky, a cowardly creature that is easily ordered around. We also have Adjutant, straight out of StarCraft, a lawsuit waiting to happen. The gameplay is divided into two modes that combine together seamlessly. The external space combat takes the form of a tactics-based strategy game. Think XCOM with ships. You have a limited number of action points per turn and a series of actionable points you can spend them on, ranging from moving the ship to letting loose space-tearing lasers. The complementary game mode takes place inside the ship. We can assign each of our cats to a ship-related task, thereby improving that aspect of our vessel. The cowardly Bisky is in charge with running away. By placing him inside the engine room, we can move twice as far per turn. The far superior Mitzi is distracted by a moving red dot and finds himself inside the energy weapons room, which lets us actually attack. I'm a huge fan of this second tactical layer, where we have to select which portions of the ship to optimize, and changing our minds mid-battle comes at an action point cost. It's a nice system, and it makes gameplay all the more engaging. Somehow we muddle through our first mission and escape with our lives. I congratulate the crew, as any good captain should. But before we know it, we are rudely interrupted. The intruder intrudes upon our ship with clear hostile intent. The almighty Mitzi takes control by gently rubbing against this beast for an extended period of time. When it becomes clear that this creature is not interested in such courtship, we begin the fight in earnest. The intruder is a fearsome beast that moves from room to room, setting fire to my precious ship, and injuring my also-present crew. This complicates things as we need to juggle the outside space fight that started at the same time as my crew abandon their optimizational duties to chase after the intruder, and also to put out some fires. One turn passes and Mitzi is half dead, so I bravely decide to let Bisky handle the combat, whilst I take on the ferocious fires instead. Things don't go so well, and I begin to wonder just how super we soldiers are, as our ship begins crumbling around us. Fortunately, my enemies decide to self-destruct, giving me a much-needed chance of redemption. Bisky comes to his senses and finds a new purpose in life as a makeshift doorstop as the bridge burns around him. This is as good a time as any to talk about the graphics. Overall, the game looks pretty good. Inside and outside the ship marry well together. Cutscenes and visuals are all looking clean. Explosions, too, are very satisfying. It's all good stuff. Clunkiness is perhaps what holds Space Cat's Tactics back a bit, but that kind of thing is fixable. Graphic analysis complete. We finally overcome the intruder, extinguish the flames, and fly our husk of a craft over to the nearby station. And straight into an ambush. One quick slog through a surprisingly difficult mission later, we abduct a woman, conscript her into my army, and limp past the carnage we just created, before my half-dead team and ship take refuge in the station. It's not going well. We've been struggling on every mission since the start of the game against the most basic of enemies, and then the game presents me with, well, this. Running out of options, we hide behind civilians like the true heroes that we are. We settle in for a long battle against this behemoth of a ship, and then... Oh. I feel somewhat deceived. Nevertheless, onwards. Adventure awaits. The ever-tactical Space Cats. I could nitpick about the game for a bit. For example, when I leave the interior of the ship to return to the space battle, I start at a zoom level that's completely redundant. Yes, it's nice to feel like I physically left the ship, but I can't actually see anything without scrolling out for a solid 10 seconds. Things like that, they're easily fixable though. I've got hope for Space Cat's tactics because the underlying game is really engaging. I'm a sucker for tactics games as it is, and I've said it before, but the extra layer of internal management directly affecting the Battlefield gameplay is a great feeling. Coupled with the intruder and the fires breaking out, you're left with an understandable and intuitive problem that you need to generate a solution for on the fly. It's chaotic, but it's a good kind of chaos. It doesn't feel unfair, just challenging. I like this game. The potential's really there for it to develop into something great, and I've got to say, I've got a good feeling about this one. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If indie game reviews are your thing, you can find more of them on the channel and hopefully on the screen if I remembered. I also make a variety of Let's Plays that you can check out too. Hopefully you'll join me for that, and I shall see you then.